Ooh. Hi, Sagittarius. Come on in if you'd like to have a seat for some symbolic support. We've got your ink blot here we did earlier in July, and we're going to flip it for perspective possibilities if you want to take a screenshot. We'll scry your ink for shapes and symbols, add on tarot and oracle, and of course the spirit box here is kicking already if you haven't noticed. For any audio inspirations that may inspire or irritate, receive or release freely. Sages, I'm going to take a moment here, if you'd like to join me, to close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Sages, as always, thank you for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights, and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Let's looky-loo what's going on in July for you. 28, maybe 28 days, 28 years has been significant. Somebody might be practicing yoga or stretching, like a levitating meditation along that lines. I also see a parent with a wee one, a babe, sitting by a tree, might be at a park. Very protective. There's a spirit around.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay? If there's somebody, like a parent, like sitting there just watching their child play, there's like this energy projecting out that's very, very protective. So you have somebody in spirit that is highly protective. Like here I am up in the park, and then it's like for anything that may come in this bubble. Sages, I think this was in possibly Aries, like a little dash of this, but it was interesting. I'm definitely seeing the one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater. There's another tree. Trees are very prominent. Now there's like an older gentleman sitting in a tree. Could be an older woman as well, like grandmother energy and like one of those moo-moos. I can't say much. Totally have the same thing. Very comfortable. There's wisdom there. They're like sitting in a tree and kind of smoking, again, watching over. There's something about like showering outdoors if somebody is camping. Front, did you say? I feel like where this camping is, or going out on a trip or vacation, there's a footprint, like maybe a Bigfoot watcher, or there's a clue to something. Like I'm going to come across a footprint, maybe even a deja vu, like I've been here before. I feel like I've been here before. Another lifetime, past life. I'm going to have a deja vu. I'm also seeing someone with a lot of freckles. Darling nose and freckles. Like that's how I see it. Like, oh, just darling, just darling. Oh my goodness, there's lots of curious character stages going on here. I'm seeing a fish in a fish tank reaching up, like, you know, when you've put food in there, but it's like spirit is feeding the fish of the sages, the emotional well-being. I feel like a lot of these things that I've been talking about are feeding my well-being. Interesting. I'm not surprised with Sagittarius. So wise. So wise. It might have come on quick. Like, I need to do something for my well-being. For some, anyway. I'm also seeing if you are going camping or somewhere, sages, where there's bears, be mindful where your food is. Could be trying to get in your car, or where somebody might have snacks somewhere. Safety, safety, safety. Moonlight, magical prayer. Yeah. Of course, whatever these may mean to you, feel free to take a snapshot. Okay. But it's like something at nighttime if you're camping, like looking at the stars. Different creatures abound, but there's something about safety. Just ensuring those things, right? Like your food is up in the tree if it's in bear country, or even in a car, I feel like they're going to try and sniff it out, but something like that. And yeah, metamorphosis and mountain. Okay, so this is bringing me into the other aspect of being up in that park where I saw the meditating yogi like levitating. This is like temple stuff. Temple of the tangible. I don't need to go to a tangible temple, meaning necessarily a mountain or a place, but I feel like sometimes I enjoy going there. It makes me feel connected, but no different than if I was, up in the mountains or at a stream or whatnot. But there's just something nice about gathering. That's what it's making me feel. Like I spend, Sages, maybe you've been going through a solo time, solitude, in your own metamorphosis, and then it's like you come out of this metamorphosis, symbolically speaking, spiritually speaking, or straight up psychology self speaking, and you're like, okay, because it's bringing me back to like when I was like 18, just one day I woke up different.
Who are they?
And I stopped, like my parents can even remember, like boom, and I woke up one day and was just different, the same, but different. And I suddenly had this discipline that was effortless. And this is what it's making me feel like. You're just going to walk out one day and you're like, oh, yeah, this is who I am. This feels well because I've been working on my well-being with a lot of water, if I may, and earth. Yeah, and I'm going to keep doing, this is who I am. And it's kind of like I want to go find other people, other souls that have that, I can have conversations with about it. You know what I'm saying? Wizard of awareness. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of take a look around. You might even be like thinking, because you're in this levitating space. Intention.
Buy me a coffee.
Oh, buy me a coffee. Link is in the description if you'd like to donate, PayPal, or buy me a coffee or a super thanks now. I didn't know that was a thing, but I did. I made it to whatever super thanks. It is there. Sages, 22, the number 22. To the Wizard of Awareness, number 3. Okay. Follow the leaders on the bottom. This is how I'm feeling. I'm not looking for a leader, a guru. I'm just looking for I'm being encouraged by my own energy to communicate and commune with others that have, or even just to find if others have been through a similar experience that I can communicate to and talk to, because it would be fun. And it would, again, add to my wellness and well-being. I feel like there's a little bit of hesitancy, like, well, where do I start? Not hesitancy. I suppose that might be a, observing. I'm observing. Because I feel like, Sages, you might find them in not random places, but in places that are already like churches or temples, is it mosques? Whatever the case may be. Maybe even on a yoga retreat. Maybe you're just camping and you find somebody else that's just like, oh, and you start talking like, hey, how are you? How's the weather? Blah, 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 blah. But there's this intention. I almost want to say, like, write down the intention. High Priestess. Oh, Sages. Knight of Cups. Write something down. Do you know what's weird? Okay, so this may not make any sense. And please do not take this literally, though I assume if you're here, you're pretty well versed in nonsense as sense. It's like I can see you writing down an intention. Maybe it's on like a bay leaf, or I don't know. Maybe it's even on an egg, and then I boil that egg and then I ingest the egg, or I put this thing in a cup. Maybe I write it in water somehow. I just write in water my intention.
Shot.
And then I drink it. Take a shot, maybe in the spirit. Like spirits of alcohol. Though I feel like that would numb and it actually lowers. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. Also, if you're taking any medication along that same lines, ensuring the intention and the integrity is intact. So like taking a moment before you ingest medication or take any sort of medication, even in a shot form, that you, this is for the highest vibration of my body, whatever is lower or infectious will be removed. You know what I mean? Type thing. Because there is this, there's a vibe here. There's like a mastery vibe. Yeah, there's a mastery vibe. It's like something was prepared to be sacrificed. Some part of the Sagittarius or collective, like the lamb of the self, right? The softness, the purity, the gentle, the innocence, really. And I almost want to say for some sages, if this resonates, I was ready to like sacrifice, or I had this part of me tied up for a little while. And I could say like play or inner child. It doesn't matter what I think it is or even feel it is. The point is that it held something of some sort of fear that I had given this part of myself, and I was about to sacrifice it, and I didn't. And that was a really good decision, because this wisdom came in, this self-reflection. I don't even know what it is. This mastery, like just bump. Yep. And you woke up and you're like, ah. And then that lamb, that part of me becomes untethered by the bounds of that. It's like I bound, no, it's not bound. Yeah, it is bound, but it's weird because I remember you as well. Or you remember this version of yourself. Oh, yes. It's like you remember this part of me, part of yourself. Oh my goodness. Sorry. And okay, because when I was seeing the writing down, and whether you're drinking it or something, it reminded me of the binding spell where you write something down in love and light, of course, depending on which way you're looking to learn and receive in reciprocity. You know, to bind somebody in love and light so they, you know, may not cause harm to themselves or others, whatever the case may be. And you put it in ice cubes and you put it in the freezer. Okay, great. That's what I saw. But now I'm realizing it's because it didn't pertain to others. That was about my intention of attracting others, other individuals, other souls. But when applied to myself, it's like I did that binding spell on that part of me. And now it's being de-thawed. And maybe that's what I'm drinking. And now I'm like putting in a new intention. Sages, the wisdom is working it over time. Oh, my shoulders just relaxed.
Touch.
Okay, so the High Priestess, 5 of Swords. Were you touching my shoulders? And unseen in the esoteric realm was the star. This is what's shining through what you've done. Look at even like levitating. Will come through levitating. Some form of mastery, whatever levitating may mean to you. Also getting very like witchy spelly vibes. I'm kind of digging it. You know, if you were kids like me, or maybe it's still in the movies, I have no idea. You know, you have your friend lay down. It's like light as a feather, thin as a board, light as a feather, thin as a board, light as a feather, thin as a board. And they start to levitate up. Yeah. Okay, so when I was talking about that lamb part of the self, with that 5 of Swords, it's like I stopped beating myself up about something.
Please leave.
Yep. Stopped beating it. And I requested that part of me not to leave in a haste. High Priestess and the Wizard of Awareness. It's like both of my energies templed up at the same time. They were actually encouraging each other. Okay, so I'm going to wander into this. Say the male and female energies of oneself. Also could be expressed externally. Whatever their earthly forms or identifications are is not the concern. It's about the energies, the primary ones stepping forward. So the two create something, birth something. Write down an intention, whether it is a baby, an opportunity, a wish, a want, or desire. The two make the one, which is really the 3, but it's the 1. And then in the 5 of Swords, it's like I have figured that out. The 5 points of power. Somebody might also want to look up the shaman's palm and the shaman's cave in there, right? something has been figured out. Light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. The levitating up. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Because there's like a spirit I'm seeing as Pepe Le Pew. And this Pepe Le Pew feels like of love, and it comes towards your sacrificial lamb of sorts, and your fears, releases them. Also, soul retriever piece. If you felt like you had like little elementals around while you were going through this, spirit of empowerment again. A spirit of initiation on the bottom. Hunter of abundance, sages, whatever it is. For me, this is always like one of your cards, sages. The hunter of abundance there. I'm seeing Mighty Mouse. Yep, that's Mighty Mouse. I feel like there's at least like 3 little gremlin-y things that you kind of dealt with. Spirit of empowerment and, okay, sorry, it wasn't the same. Empowerment and encouragement. And look, there's always something else there, whether it's the male or female aspects within or without somebody from spirit, but I feel like it's both. If somebody is going to have a baby, the soul is already like agreed to it and is ready to come in. Spirit of initiation still on the bottom. Oh, were you like initiating your innocence into this next level? So I'm also seeing a tree that's transforming, if I may. Okay, so imagine a whale, and with its blowhole on top, and the water comes out, and it starts growing a tree. Now this tree can like float. Hunter of honor. Don't worry about if they're upside down. My cards are in a usual state of chaos. Spirit of love. That whale and that tree are fascinating, that pair. Maybe it's an earth sign to water sign, and you're like the one of the fire, right? Just talking about if your parents or guardians, ancestor of memories on the bottom. You're the fire. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay. I'm going to get ready to close out here. Sages, he won't leave. There might be other aspects of oneself as you're like wandering through this amazing wisdom. Because even when I was talking about the 3, the two that make the 1, or the 2 that birth the 1, the 2 become the 3, but is the 1. The wizard of awareness of the spirals of creation is in the background. And it's like, what do I want to create? Let love grow. Spirit of love. What do I want to love? Sages are in like a very high vibration of quality. I'm seeing like a little Sherlock Holmes character in there as well. Like I'm looking for clues of others that I don't feel like I'm trying to solve a mystery, but maybe. Perfect acceptance. I don't feel like I'm trying to solve a mystery, but I feel like I'm on the observational lookout for others. It's all in your head. Because there's magic around you, in your head, in your thoughts. Yep, that's happening. It's in your head. Okay, so that's the Sherlock Holmes. If there's anything that, where is he? There, he is right there. If there's anything, if you're, like from your old programming, fears, but I'm not talking about survival instinct, root chakra, red light stuff. Like that's built-in survival versus societal or, another form of threat. Okay, so I'm talking about that one, like an old programming that you have that I feel, but of course, like the remnants is still going to be there, like while files are being updated or deleted, you know what I'm saying? And every so often, one pops up and you're like, oh, that's still running back there. Okay. But it's almost like the gift of it is that it's been revealed. So it's like trying not to look for, especially if it's in relationship or resonance with other people, right? Of, oh, they're seems, and I'm not talking about being naivete either. You know, you're not just going to drink something, some rando, you know, oh, let's have a drink together, but you don't know where the beverage came from or like where did it come from. I'm not just drinking some random beverage in front of me. I'd like to open it. You know what I mean? Safety first. But there's something about not keeping an eye out for the clues so that as they're revealed, you can, if there's still old programs running, but not seeking them out to create suffering in your mastery moment, because really you're freaking master. So when I cut the deck, it was mosaic. Let chance play its creative role in your life.
Possessed.
And this is what it kind of feels like. Are you possessed? Oh, maybe from that past programming, you might have that. Again, I feel like that's past programming. And I'm like, no. Granted, compassion, I understand, but I have to take it like in the moment as it steps forward, interrupt, analyze, repeat, or delete. Okay, so that's like a crazy wisdom I've never said before. So thank you. Thank you. Because something is like breaking apart as you interrupt it. Euphoria, honor yourself again. Again, sages. You are on track for mastery of your mind, your world, your feelings, your feeling, your fires, you know, under control, if that makes sense. And it's abundant. Like whatever it is that's coming in, it's abundantly working with you, for you, and it's beautiful. Sages, thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And to all those who donate, like, you truly warm my haunted heart, and your support is like, you may never know, but I just love it.
Rich.
And it makes me feel rich. Unless maybe your name is Rich. I don't know. If you want a personal, the link is below and all that kind of good stuff. And until then, I will see you in August, or enjoy some divination doses or scry spirit messages in between. Thank you.